Okay, so good morning, good noon, ladies and gentlemen, because it's lunchtime. We're group A4. In Chinese, it's called A4, so we hope that we can be Ace group today. Okay, so today we're going to analyze a case about Microsoft, and especially those, call it a new wine in the old bottle. We hope that we can give the action plan as well and to make some suggestions to the company. We'll merely do our presentation in the following context. There first, we will start with the introduction of the case, and then comes the analysis. That will give the core problems of it. And later on, we will have the action plans on it, including the strategies and the tactics. And then we'll give the risk response parts, which we think is a highlight of the presentation. And the last but not least, we'll give the conclusions. That's what we get from this case. Let's first see to this company. It's about the introduction part. Actually, for Microsoft, it consists of two parts of those products. The very first one was about the traditional ones. We're using PPTs every day, PPT words and those kind of things. And also include the new products. That is something quite new these years. The very first one was the mobile devices, and it's developed this year, including the tablets and the mobile operating systems. And also, there are two more new things on it. And the very first one was the cloud service that was developed in 1997. And also, it included the Xbox in 2001, and the Bing and Hotmail. And also, it had the search service and online ads, which was quite behind of the time because some of those have already got into this industry, and include the Bing. And you can see from the marks on it for those pew, that is for something that's a little bit failed, and for those right marks, that is what we think is doing pretty good for Microsoft. And also, there are two very interesting things happening this year. The very first one was in 2003, it's just dropped behind the ranks that in 1998 it used to be 8th for those workers that were good to work in this company, but in 2003 it have already dropped to 75. The rank was really behind of those companies, of those competitors. And also there is a new action. In 2013 they got a new CEO. So according to all the symptoms of this company, we can analysis to some core problems of it. So comes the analysis part.
So before we analysis first, let's come to this industrial characteristic of Microsoft was in. We use the 4-5 words analysis to analysis these businesses. First, come to the suppliers. We can see that the major suppliers of Microsoft is the application developers. Before it need to build an ecosystem of its application on mobile phones, it need to satisfy these developers to develop the application for Microsoft first. And as for the customers, it first made a bargain with the hardware vendor because of the licensing fees. And as for the hardware vendor was reluctant to pay the licensing fee for Microsoft. So it failed to build an ecosystem for its users. And as a result, its customers may not reluctant to pay for it. But as for the new entrants, because of the Apple and Google and other big companies was in this industry, so the new entrant face a great difficulties. We don't find some obstacles in it. And as for it was a comprehensive product businesses, so the substitutes is quite limited. However, as for the competitors, we divided its businesses into 4 parts. As for the operating systems, it was made the dominant place in the PC department. But as for the mobile, it faced the competitors from Android and iOS. As for the applications, it faced the Android market and also the app stores, which is the biggest applications providers. And as for the cloud businesses, it also faced Amazon, Google, iCloud, and others. As for the devices, it was many more successful devices competitors in this industry. After analyzing the industrial analysis, we just come to see the situations in Microsoft itself. And so we use the BCG matrix to see its businesses. As we can see, it is only the operating systems on PC department, that is the Microsoft business suite, was a cash cow. But however, it will perform worse in its device because as it will see the platform platform computers was the competitors of its computer. So it was performed as a poor dog. And also the cloud businesses and also its applications on the mobile industry will still remain a question mark. However, as we consider the strategy that is cloud first and device first its strategy, it was quite contradictory to this matrix. So how these problems conclude, let's analysis it. That is, the core problem is actually lie in the organizational problems. Because of its stack ranking systems, it failed to motivate its personal innovation, and also its institutionalization has made it hard for personal innovation and catch the new trend. So as a result, as for the development of its operating systems, it failed to satisfy its suppliers and also other marketing competitors in the marketing and also its engineering. It failed to catch the new trend. So it lost in its operating system development on the mobile phone. And as for the tablets, it was wrong to position the tablets. It was considered it as a complement of its computers. However, the tablets was actually a strong trend in the new century, and also it was inefficient in motivation and cooperation of its human resource. So after analyzing all these problems, how can we solve these problems with an integrated action plan?
Yes, there's an old Chinese saying that if you want to be well at the others, you have to behave yourself first. So we think the problem lies on the company is from inside and outside. We will first discuss the problems inside the company. The first is the company structure problem. We all know that the Microsoft is the leading company inside the IT industry. This industry requires innovation and efficiency. So our adjustment to the company structure is also followed by these principles. As we know, based on the revolution that the former CEO has made, we divide the Microsoft group into several different kinds of functional group, like the financing group, the marketing group. So we decided to improve the core and most value created group. We divide the engineering group and devices group into several working teams. These working teams will be given several kind of competition between them, and we will award the winner or the one whose product was selected. And second, we will choose the elite team of the year and price them, highly price them, and make them proud of it and get involved in the process of our business. We believe by doing this, we can increase the teamwork and innovation of this value created department. And second, we will add a unique group that is the collaboration group. This group will be made of the secretaries from different groups. Their target is to provide an internal group report. That is because the secretaries are responsible for the daily business of different groups, so they are very familiar with what their business are exactly about, and so they can have a better communication among the groups. And so as another result, by doing this, we can reduce the transaction cost so that the company can be more efficient. Based on the two methods we provide to solve the company structure problems, we believe that the Microsoft company can be both innovative and efficient. And second, let's come to another big problem for Microsoft. That is the acquisition of Nokia. We know that Nokia has 32,000 employees, while Microsoft had nearly 100,000. There's a very huge quantity. So we decided to rearrange the Nokia human resource. We believe that the Nokia employees are well qualified, so we divide them into two aspects. First is the managers. We'll arrange these managers into the certain group, especially the device and engineering group, so that they can use their professional knowledge to help us to improve the operation, and also they can improve the human resource structure to fight with the bureaucracy problem that long exists in Microsoft traditional human structure. The second, we'll focus on the technical staffs. We'll arrange them to the related groups and the team, so that first they can promote the products using their knowledge learned in Nokia, and also we believe they can bring some innovative creation of our products. These two methods are the principles that we will do for the Nokia human resource problem. And based on these two big methods, we believe that the Microsoft team, especially inside, can be operating into a very good condition. But how about the outside part?
Here, let me introduce you how Microsoft could solve their external problems. The first thing they're going to repair is their relationship with their vendors, partners. Because Microsoft, their own devices are getting into the market and trying to compete with their vendors, partners. Therefore, the relationship is in great need of reparation. How we're going to do this? We cannot give up our devices, right? So the first thing, we divided our relationship with the vendor partnerships into three phases. The first stage, we call it promoting stage. We'll put some special investments in our vendor relationships. That is to say, we may now give up the licensing fees for now, and even we may put other investments into our partnerships to convince them to use our system, so as to expand the foundations of the usage of our operating systems. And what about the next stage? The next stage is called expanding. After we have established a solid foundation for our users, we could gradually use this transitional period to retrieve some of our losses. We could then charge them free. We don't have to pay them, but because the users of our operating system is great many, so we don't have to pay them, but we also don't need them to pay us. We charge them freely. And the third part, which we call it the mature part, after a very, very widespread foundation has been built for Microsoft, we believe it's time to win profits from this. License fees will be recharged, and also our consumers will be very like our system. So this is the first part we need to repair. And what about the next problem? That is an important outside problem as well. This problem, we call it a problems in product operations, which is solely induced by the failing operations of its own products. There are two main things we want to discuss. The first is the strategy that combines both bundling and debundlings. As illustrated in the cases, debundling can be understood very easily. That is to debundle some of the businesses like the devices and the operating system. We don't need other cooperators to use our system. We don't force them to do that. But we could do other things. That is bundling. What is bundling? The basic thought is that we need to bundle what we are very good at, what we originally have advantage in, with those that is weaker. The first core product that we think could be used at the center point that could use to bundle with other products is our applications, Microsoft Office. We all use Office every day, Words, Excel, PowerPoints. We cannot live without it. Therefore, we could bundle it with the cloud business. Imagine with just one button, you don't have to save your words, you don't have to save your Excel. It could be totally transmitted to the cloud side, and with just one button, you could get it out, even if you accidentally delete it. And the second bundling is also with cloud businesses, which is the device. The working rationale is quite like the former one. You could just save your information in the mobile and it will transmit it automatically to the cloud side, and you don't need to do anything. By bundling those weaker services and advantage services, we could even revive some of our failing services, like the thing service and also the search service. Like when you're doing a Word, you're writing a document, you want something, you want to look up into the internet, you don't have to go to the Google, you don't have to get to the Baidu, you just need a button. Then a search developed by Microsoft will automatically come out and you will just get answers from this Explorer. This is what we call the combination of bundling and debundling. Let's look at the next part, which is an action plan combined with short-term and long-term. The first one, the short-term action plan, as we have written here, is the development of a compatible system. How do we understand this compatible system? That is a system that could both be used for the applications developed by Android system and also the Windows system. To do this, we could develop and promote our devices and push it to our customers. And also our applications can be known by more people. But at the meantime, to ensure that we will not be able to sell out our mobile phones, we have to permit some other applications to come into this market so as to ensure the revenue is not lost. And the second thing we need to do in the short term is the development of new products and systems. It's very easy to understand. Like the first thing, the applications. We need more engineers. We need more software writers to write codes to construct new products in our application line so as to attract more customers. This is done during this period, and also the Nokia stuff. We know we have acquired Nokia. What do we do with Nokia? The Nokia's original purpose is to develop a device, a platform to demonstrate our operating system and our applications. This should be very sophisticatedly developed. And also the platform for customers is built in this time, as we have illustrated in the reparation of our relationship with vendors. And what about the long term? That's very easy. After we have been mature about our techniques, our application, our products, we'll roll out other systems. So what about the pros and cons of doing so? The pros are very easy to understand. The first one is the revenue of short term can be guaranteed, while the long term profits can be ensured. And the second one is it wins a transitional period for us. The third one is solid foundations for customer users. And the cons is also very obvious. The first one is the application market share can be lost during the short term, and also the short term recognition of our brand can also be lost. But we know action plan is not perfect. Every action plan has its own risk. So what about the risk of this action plan?
Okay, so here finally comes the risk and response part. Actually, we have predicted 3 of those risks here, and also we gave 3 responses according to the risk that we provide. The very first one was about the competition, the lack of attractions, especially inner the company. And this will provide the things like many other methods of incentives. And the second one was about the real allocation and brings the kind of unsatisfactory, because we know that bundle things or some things like that. And the very third one was about the doubts of the promotions, because we have a quite aggressive plan about all these promotion things. So we have expected there might be something from the board. And also we give such kind of response like we will better make the career path better and better, so that those employers will not feel that they are being reallocated in an unsatisfactory way. And also the third one was about the more frequent reports, especially to the boards, so that we can make it a better plan. And also we will leave some other risks until the judges will ask us about the Q&A session. Okay, now let's see to the conclusion of this case. Actually, that's the HR rule. Cooperations and the individual incentives are both very important. That could be a balance. That's a very important role in the HR side for an entrepreneur. And the second one was about the product rule. Actually, we're making risks, but that's the way we get better preparation for the future profitability. Last will be a good leader of the products and be a good cooperator. Okay, last but not least, good wishes to the Microsoft, and also thank you for your attention to our presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for a very comprehensive presentation. I have 3 questions. On one of the slides where you talked about company organizational structure and the idea to create, different teams and, competing between the different teams and, awarding an elite team. One of the issues at Microsoft has always been silos and politics. Don't you think by creating a structure where you're forcing teams to compete, you're actually creating more silos, more politics, and more tension? That's my first question.
And well, thank you for your questions. We believe our competition is mainly to innovate the innovation of the teams. We are not actually want to make them to compete, but we want to have some brainstorm, like to have have their knowledge, to have some new things to use in their knowledge. We are not intended to just award them, but award is just an incentive way. Our purpose is to make them better.
And also, we have reorganized this structure have some different intentions. That is, we think that the department that not the direct value-added development, we will make them centralized. That is the marketing department and also the financial department, because we think it will create the synergy effect. Because this marketing have the same channel and same market channels and places and promotion styles. This will create a synergy effect. But as for the engineering department, actually we have different focus, such as the operating systems and also the other different department and also the product. We have different engineering team and they work as a group. And the motivation system is to incentive as a group but not personally.
What you probably need is more dialogue in between the different groups so that ideas can be cross-fertilized then. My second question was on you did a very good presentation on the ecosystem. However, I want to ask, what is the financial implication and how long do you think it's going to take? Because, if you look at your product life cycle, where effectively in the initial stage where you're paying people to use your systems, and then in the second stage, you're not going to charge them and you hope to then monetize at the very end. Given the short product life cycle, how realistic is that? And how much, can you afford to bleed, given the short-term view of capital markets and analysts who will not, effectively, analysts and investors will effectively penalize you in your share price.
This is a question we've been discussed, and I believe this is a very great consideration for the future development of Microsoft. But we think there are always a corresponding solutions. For example, as indicated in the financial information that is in the appendix, Microsoft has the highest cash returns among its competitors. And according to the recent operations of Microsoft, it apparently has abundant cash. And also, this development means the initially there will be some drop in the ROI. But we think that this is a necessary action for future development.
How long do you think it'll take to recoup then?
We think it will take 3 years to recoup them.
My last question really is in terms of your strategy for bundling. Now, Microsoft has had a famous legal suit against it many years ago when they tried to bundle Internet Explorer with Windows, and they were forced to debundle those two and effectively allow consumers the option to choose their own browser. Similarly, if you look within a browser, the consumer then has also its own choice in terms of what search engine to use. So how realistically do you think you can afford, you'll be able to bundle products to force consumers to effectively take a weaker product that it doesn't necessarily want?
Okay, that's how we interpret it, is that maybe we haven't been clear about the word bundling. It is not legally bundling. We are not forcing our customers to accept it. We're just trying to push this product to customers, but we are not forcing them to use it. It is. I think it's not a like the compulsory bundling. It's just introduction of our products when you're using one of them. And we think this will create also effective synergies because when they're using it, they'll like when I'm typing a document, I think, oh, this cloud things could protect my documents. Maybe I just purchase it. But we're not trying to compose our customers to buy it.
Yeah, we add one more thing. That is kind of like expand some of those product things. We just try to add some more services into it. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, I only have one question to you. In the case they describe a group of senior people, the old folks. Okay, I believe they are with the highest seniority and maybe occupying some management roles. And these people, they are well remunerated and they, all of them I believe are in the comfort zone. So given all these proposed changes both culturally and structurally and in the market for product development, how are you going to get these old folks buy-in with all these new changes? Because they are very stable, living comfortably in the comfort zone, and I believe they don't want to make any to move any, because so how are you going to get them buy-in of all your proposed changes?
Well, actually, during our discussions, we think that Nokia may be a new trend for the reorganization, because after we have buy the Nokia into the Microsoft, we hope that we will leave some of the elite managers to go into the Microsoft managers, and also it will bring the new blood into the old human resource. We hope that also their engineer will enter our engineer group, and this will also bring a new blood. And also because of the strategic change during Microsoft, so it was a good chance to reorganize the original manager structures, and also bring them the opportunities to refreeze the old structure, and bring them maybe in a new position, and also even deployment some of the unsuitable people, maybe an obstacle for the future development.
And also, in addition, as the case has mentioned, the old staff of Microsoft, they are kind of people who are innovative and very brave to face the challenge. We believe that even they are now managers or the members of boards, they are still willing to make the company better. And what our project is about is to make the company better. Although we will have some new people to come in, but that this new blood is something that can improve our company, like the structure of the human resource structure, and also can promote our products. And we believe that the managers will likely to accept this innovation and the challenge, and this can both improve them and improve the company.
Thank you.
Okay, I just have one question too, and it goes to the issues of costs and efficiencies. So we are creating lots of little sub-teams within our existing engineering team, which we guys already sort of talked about, and obviously they will have to be micromanaged because we need to assess their performance relative to one another. We are also going to recruit more engineers and so on because we want to have more innovators and make a bigger impression on the market. We're going to have more frequent reporting to the board, all of which requires an extra admin function and so on. And at the same time, we're going to waive our fees for some customers in order to attract customers in. So how does all that work? For the business basically, how does that make the business viable? It sounds to me like we're going to have more costs, and potentially I don't necessarily see the efficiencies or the synergy.
Okay, actually for the resources now, we are trying to make them into better use. That's why we give so many action plans about it. First, I give an example about our action plan. For example, we are having the secretaries into a certain department, just like the Gaili department in PNG, something like that. So we are trying to say that such kind of revolution on the way of their communicating, we're just trying to make those resources much more useful. I also know that there must be some of those resources we have to get from the outside, but we're trying to make all those inner resources better used, and then we're gonna involve some of those resources from outside.
And also, according to our analysis, according to the BCG model, metric and original operating system, that is the Microsoft systems, it was built as a cash cow. That means that its growth rate may be low, but it has a huge market share, and it can bring the consistent cash for our reorganization and also the new revolution. However, we also have some star businesses, and also, but we are focused on developed the question mark businesses, that is the cloud businesses, and also the mobile business into the star businesses. And we believe that healthy companies will have all the business lie into these three parts, not evenly, but will separately. So we think that every business needs to develop its new businesses, and it can guarantee for the long-term development. And we saw that the cloud businesses was the long-term growth trend. That is where we say the cloud first and service first for its strategy. So we believe that every company will make this transformation and innovation decision.
Yeah, we're having a lot of thoughts on it, but because the presentation is kind of short, so we cannot give every detailed information that we have discussed. But if Microsoft ever hired us, we'll try to give more detailed information. That's it.
Yeah, very good. Very good. Just one point. It's nice at the start of the presentation if you introduce yourself, just so I know who's talking to me.
Yeah, can we pick it up?
You can do it now for in the next 2.5 minutes. Yeah, but that was just a sort of stylistic point, because otherwise the presentation was excellent. But it's nice to know who you are at the outset.
We can introduce ourselves
if we can.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well done.